Hey, World Warriors, I'm Brian CrowMn for A CrowMn Review, and look, I'm gonna be straight with you guys. This episode is probably not gonna be very funny to anyone, really. I mean, I'm looking at the script right now, and yeah, it doesn't look like I actually wrote any jokes into this thing. I mean, unless you count this part right here, where I'm kinda meta-referencing the script to actually, be a joke. What? But seriously, if you see anything that looks kind of like an awkward cut or anything, it's probably because I got a little too emotional and just kind of needed a few minutes to just kind of, regain my composure. But if you just stick with me for the next few minutes of depressing shit, there's cute stuff. So with all that said, how about that 2016? Look, I know at this point it's kind of passé to call 2016 a dumpster fire, the worst year ever. For a lot of people it was celebrity deaths, or politics, or both. But for me it was just death. I lost my father last year, and while that was certainly the big death of the year, it's not the one I'm here to talk about. With the death of our rabbit Puka late last summer, for the first time in my life, and I'm gonna add some extra emphasis on that part just one more time. For the first time in my life, I was actually living somewhere without a single pet. And for somebody that's been around animals for their entire life, that kinda sucks. Puka was such an incredible bun. He was big and fluffy and loved to jump on the couch with you and shove himself into the pillows and cushions, and just always very demanding of attention, and the most social rabbit I'd ever had the privilege of knowing. Skip to early October, and it was, just weeks after my father's funeral. I was very visibly sinking into a depression that I'm still engaging in fisticuffs with, best 2 out of 3 rounds. My roommate was states away visiting her boyfriend. I was alone in pretty much every sense of the word. And it was just this perfect storm that made me so susceptible to what this episode is actually about. So you remember right around this time, I want to say fall last year, when Facebook ads started aggressively showing up in your feed. And because it's based on whatever it's based on, browsing history, interactions on Facebook, look, I'm not going to pretend that I know how this shit works. I just know Facebook really needed to make sure that I was getting my anime, my Vita games, and replicas of Leon's Resident Evil 4 jacket. I know, that one is really specific, you guys, but all of that aggressive Facebook advertising actually led me to the subject of today's A CrowMn Review: Cuddle clones. Cuddle clones is a website that makes custom stuffed animals, and they specialize specifically in making plush toy replicas of your actual real-life pets. You can see where this is going. I was alone, depressed, vulnerable, thinking back to how just a year ago, last October, that pretty much all of my free time was spent on my couch playing Danganronpa 2 with just Puka cuddled up close to me the entire time. And how great of memories that was for me. I mean, it also helped that the Facebook ad came with a $50 coupon, so fuck it. They had their hooks in me. So I did it. You go through the process of choosing what type of pet you're making. The ad material they use mostly features cats and dogs, but there's the decent selection of different animals. A few different birds, rodents, pigs, horses, and of course, rabbits. You only need to send one picture to them to use for reference while they hand make your plushie. I sent 7 though, because Puka had a bit of an intricate design to his fur, and I wanted it to be as accurate as they could possibly do. Paid $130, waited about a month and a half, but I got them. And I can't even begin to describe to you guys just the smile on my face as I was First pulling him out of the box and just giving him a great big hug. He came out great. Cuddle Clone's got so many of his features just friggin' perfect. The fur pattern on his face and head, his big floppy lop ears, the puffy mane of fur on the front of his chest, his short stubby legs, even a small added bonus, his name stitched onto the tag on his foot, even a little Cuddle Clone stitching on his foot too. Only 2 complaints, but they're not really the fault of Cuddle Clones, really, just me. His fur is a little darker on the Cuddle Clone. Puka's actually a lot more gray than black, but the pictures I provided were on the contrasty side, so my bad. I also didn't really specify his size. Puka's Cuddle Clone is actually a lot closer to the size of our current Bun Bun Foley. A little smaller than Puka was, but again, that's on me. More than all that, though, it's just really comforting and great to have something to remember Puka by. So final thoughts on Cuddle Clones is, yeah, it's a little pricey, and it does take a while to make them and get them to you, but if you provide them with enough reference material, they will deliver a really great product. I'm Brian CrowMn for A CrowMn Review, and I promise you guys, next time, we're back to our regularly scheduled fighting game, pro wrestling, fanservice-y bullshit. But until then, I'll see you next time, right here on A CrowMn Review.